Hi, it's Alex from Android Central, and this is the Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom. The Galaxy S4 Zoom is Samsung's attempt at an imaging-centric smartphone. It's literally half phone, half camera. The front looks like a Galaxy S4 Mini, the back is basically a point-and-shoot camera. So the side with the screen on is very familiar, and there's some extra stuff going on the sides and back. You've got a big two-stage shutter button on the right, along with power and volume. Up top's your IR blaster and headphone jack, and on the left is a microSD slot and tripod connector, which is protected by this little plastic stopper. Being a Samsung phone, it's got a removable battery, a 2330 mAh unit in this case, which slots in the bottom of the device. Above it there's a spring-loaded micro SIM slot. But the back of the device is where things really get interesting. There's a big bulky zoom lens with a 10x optical zoom, and behind that is a 16 megapixel sensor. Also xenon flash and autofocus lamp, and this raised area is a grip to make it a little easier to hold. But there's actually more to the zoom lens than meets the eye. Around the outside of it is the zoom ring, which can be used in one of a few ways. In the camera app, you can turn it to zoom in and out. If you're anywhere else in the phone UI, turning the ring gives you this little radial menu, which you can use as a shortcut to jump into a selection of shooting modes. Needless to say, all this camera stuff makes the S4 Zoom a lot bulkier than the average smartphone. It's still just about pocketable, but you're making a big sacrifice in terms of ergonomics to get that larger megapixel count and optical zoom. And it is a bit unwieldy compared to other phones with 4.3-inch screens. The design of the thing also makes one-handed use a little awkward. If you've got to use it with one hand using the grip, you'll find your thumb covering most of the buttons. So how does image quality stack up? Well, it's roughly comparable to last year's Galaxy camera, which had a similar sized 16 megapixel sensor behind a different lens. So you're getting average point-and-shoot quality shots out of the Galaxy S4 Zoom, which in the grand scheme of cameras isn't particularly impressive, but it's still superior to most camera phones. Colours are generally accurate, and the auto setting does a good job of adapting to most lighting conditions. But the optics are really nothing special, and photos are generally quite noisy when viewed at full resolution. It's also easier than we'd like to get blurry shots when zoomed in, despite the device's optical image stabilization. You also get video recording up to 1080p, and again, performance here is decent if not outstanding. The OIS is more useful in video mode, reducing shaky cam effects, although at the same time we did experience some issues with dynamic range in outdoor scenes. The camera app itself is fairly impressive, bringing in features from the Galaxy camera and Galaxy S4. You get a bunch of different smart shooting modes to choose from, and you can start a handful of favourites for quick access. One pretty cool addition is a Smart Mode Suggest feature, which analyses the shot you're taking and suggests one of 3 smart modes you might want to use. There's also an expert mode that gives you control over shutter speeds and ISO, although this is somewhat less full-featured than the equivalent mode on the Galaxy camera. On top of all that, there's also a photo suggest feature built into the camera app, which pops up a map showing interesting photo spots nearby. Aside from the camera app, there's not much of the Galaxy S4 Zoom's hardware we haven't already seen on early devices. The Zoom is missing some of the fancier features of the regular Galaxy S4, including the AirView hover touch stuff, although the basic TouchWiz experience is mostly intact. Overall, in terms of both hardware and software, the Zoom is a close match to the Galaxy S4 Mini, same 1.7 GHz dual-core CPU, same QHD Super AMOLED display, which for a 16 megapixel imaging device is a little on the low side. And it's the same deal with internal storage. There's 8GB included, of which a sizable chunk is taken up by system apps and mandatory updates. As with any camera though, you want to provide your own SD card. As an overall package then, the Galaxy S4 Zoom is a bit of a mixed bag, and you'll make more than a few sacrifices to get optical zoom on your smartphone, mostly to do with ergonomics and ease of use. In any case, we'll have a full review written up soon. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.